Hi everyone, Darren Hunter here. Before we get into our podcast, just want to do a quick shout out for Inspection Manager. What an amazing inspection app platform that they have. And they're really excited at the moment with their tenant assisted routine inspections, where your tenants, in the convenience of their own time frame and in the convenience of their rental property, they can be getting you through the app inspections, their own inspection or their own photos that they've done. Now, this is going to help you, particularly if you're in lockdown. But what we've also found as businesses have come out of lockdown, they've found that perhaps they can do maybe one or even two of these inspections a year, aside from scheduling their normal routine inspections. The next step, really go and have a demo, have a look for yourself and make a decision where this could actually work for you too. So go to inspectionmanager.com, request a demo and check it out.
Hi, so it's Deniz here with Michael, and we are here with the BDM Coach Show. Michael, I'm super excited about this one because we are talking about networking. I loved networking as a real estate agent. I love networking as a real estate trainer as well. The importance of networking is absolutely massive, especially for BDMs today, about getting in that front foot over as many people as you can.
Now, I totally agree with you. And again, it's great to be back. So this is the BDM Club Show number 2. This is our episode 2. And, the first one was such a fun session to do.
Great feedback too. It's been awesome.
It has been tremendous. And I guess we love being able to deliver these high value sessions. One of the great things is for those who are watching us, who aren't tuning in, just listening to us, for those who are watching us, you all know that we wear the trademark white. So, we're here. We want to be able to deliver these high value content for you. And today is networking. You are spot on.
It is. Now, Michael, for those that are listening and aren't watching, let's just reference that I have got the long sleeve T-shirt on today.
I know. So you're 20, 25 degrees. I'm 0 to 5 degrees. I'm
in a T-shirt.
I get that. We're doing what we can, with the tools that we have and the times that we have.
We do.
And a lot of people now are forced to be doing networking on Zoom, on FaceTime, WhatsApp. All these different platforms to do networking on. I guess one of the reasons why we have networking in this particular episode is, as everyone knows, the first episode was about that pre-listing. So making sure you can respond to people, you can get your information out there quick, fast, so that you can win the business. Because that's really what we want to see you do. We want to see you win the business. And it is so important to be able to win the business is to incorporate a strong, healthy networking routine in your business. Because as you know, if they like you, they know you, they trust you, they're going to do business with you.
Spot on, and you need to be in the forefront of as many people's minds as you can, so today's session is about getting that phone to ring more. It's great having a pre-listing email, Michael, like we spoke about in the previous show, but this one is about getting the phone to ring so you can send out those pre-listing emails, and networking is an amazing put you in an amazing position to deal with as many people as you can, so you can be that top of mind for those people.
And I think too, there's only so much we can cover in a session like this. We've got so much content on the Inspired Growth Training website platform. There is so much content there. So please make sure you log into that site and have a look at some of the topics on networking and pre-listing and everything there. It's really important. Today, we're going to cover some of the really important things for you to be doing, why, how, and maybe some of the don'ts. I mean, we've all been out to networking events and we know, well, I guess maybe in our heads, we know some of the don'ts. So we'll cover on some of the don'ts and go over some of the benefits. Deniz, we travel a lot.
We do.
Before we traveled and we were on the tools, we may not, I traveled a lot when I was on the tools, often going to beach places, Bali and so on. But still, networking played such a massive part. And I guess for me, I was part of the state-based real estate body. In fact, I was one of the founding members of the Young Agents for the Real Estate Institute Victoria, where we set up the young agents group there with Adrian Butero, Andrew Morello, Dexter Pratt, like a whole crew of people at the time, and that's still going today. That was an excellent networking event. We would actually set up networking events, have host speakers come relevant to the industry, present on what they're doing, why they're doing it. Really inspirational stuff. But for anyone who is in real estate, property management, business development, networking is your best friend. And that doesn't matter if you are working for someone within a team or you own the business. Networking needs to become your best friend. You are not going to meet new people in a dark room with a locked door.
Well, Michael, a BDM can't rely on the sales team to grow the business for them. The BDM is the salesperson of a division, right, of the property management department. And if you don't have the sales team, if you're a PM-only office, you've got no choice but to get out there and network with people, so you can become that forefront.
Yeah.
So you've got to get out there. You've got to network, whether it's doing events like you guys did with our friend Andrew Morello, whom you still network with today, right? Just on a different tiered level. It builds relationships. The benefits of being in networking is obviously, firstly, it's becoming top of mind. You want to become top of mind. So, and we'll get into the breakdown of some of the things that we can cover during a network meeting. But you need them not just being top of mind. That you don't want them just referring you because you're going to the same meeting. You want them to become a raving fan. And how you get them to become a raving fan is don't just go to a network meeting to be a leech and suck information from them. Educate them. Teach them something. The pre-listing email is about giving facts away to those potential landlords. Those stats educate your people that you're networking with, so that when someone rings them and says, "Oh, I'm thinking about renting my home out, or I'm having problems," "Oh my goodness, you should call Michael. Michael told me that 100% of his tenants are paying their rent." That's what networking is about. You're actually selling to them and telling people at a network meeting your points of differences without them knowing. You're selling your services to them so they can be a BDM for you. That's what networking is, right? It's not just going to a meeting and saying, "Well, Michael, can you refer business to me?" How's that going to impact you? Do you think you would refer business to me if I just say that?
I think so. Like a lot of people, I guess I've seen it too. People that work for like sales agencies and other agencies, and like they're telling them to go to networking events. They're kind of putting in their mind though that they have to go and just sell themselves. But like, I'm not a massive believer of going to events, selling yourself. I mean, I think you're going to naturally sell yourself, right? Like if you're getting involved in everything, people are going to love that. But there are people at networking events where you smell the desperation.
Yeah.
Where all they're talking about is everything that they do, how great they are, their company is, and they're just sweating with this, odor of, what it's all about them. But you're spot on, top of mind. The more places you go to, you become top of mind. It's all about becoming visible. But then, Dennis, I guess we've got to say then, don't swim in the same pool every week. I mean, you got B&I meetings that people go to there.
Yeah.
But spread yourself out with these networking events. Go to as many different ones as you can, because the more people that you're touching on, the more people are going to see you, learn more about you, and you're expanding your network of people. Your strategic alliances, friends, family. I mean, Dennis, we have that ABC database building list. It's 4-5 pages long. And in fact, whoever is listening, watching this right now, if you would like a copy of it, make sure you email Darren at igtmail.com. So that's Darren at igtmail.com. And make sure you put in there like a happy face or a nice compliment in there and beg Darren for a copy of that document, and he will give it to you.
Straight away.
Darren at igtmail.com. And that's going to help build your network. But I guess we can touch on that. One of the things that I love about going to networking events is, especially when I know there are going to be smarter people than I am. I love knowing that there's going to be people in the room that are far more successful, have made far more mistakes than I've ever made, and I could only dream of making also, so I could learn, because as you know, Dennis, we're involved in a number of different businesses, and we learn. Fortunately, none of our mistakes have been big mistakes. But you're going to get fresh ideas. So you'll be in a room of potentially other BDMs from around the country, from around the world, and they're going to share ideas with you on how they do things differently. And then it's one of the things that I loved doing was going to events that weren't even related to real estate and seeing how they do things in their world and how I can relate them back to real estate, but also meeting people there, because a lot of people own property. Now, if you're just a BDM and you're just going to real estate events with other BDMs and so on there, you're not going to really be getting too many leads and referrals, are you?
No.
So that's what I meant before about spreading yourself out and going to different events, going to the bank events that they put on talking about finance, go to the landlord events, go to the property expos. You know, when you're walking around, speak to people. Say, hey, how you going? Well, what brings you here? You know, go out and engage, but get fresh ideas. Another thing that we were touching on before about building that network is building that database. So if you're someone that's just starting out in business development and you don't have a database, this is by far the best, fastest way to build up your network database is by going out to networking events, getting onto Darren and asking him for that ABC list to build a database. That will kickstart your network database building exponentially.
Well, that list that you're speaking about that Darren can share, I actually think that we do have it available in our Facebook group, the Inspired Growth Training Inner Circle. So if anyone goes to our Facebook page, just simply like the page, obviously, and then request to join the group, answer the questions. We do have that list available there as well, or you can email Darren. And that list actually provides you with all the different types of people that we should be networking with. I mean, Michael, you said a couple of examples, but let's strip it back and go back to the timeline of somebody that's looking to purchase a property, because this is about BDMs, you know, networking, who to network with. But let's just show them the importance of that networking. So who would I be if I was thinking, you know what, I'm thinking about buying an investment property? Who are people that I might share that with at the beginning? You know, like, Michael, I'm thinking about buying an investment property. So I'm going to be telling my family and friends, right? So networking with your family and friends is important. All of those people, you know, they're talking to other people as well. And what are they going to say? They might say, we'll go see a financial broker or a financial advisor or whatever the case. So then there's the financial advisor, someone that you need to speak to. Who is that financial advisor?
I was going to say, just on that, Dennis, that's a really, really good point about networking with family and friends, because I have found that so many people's family and friends, they do things in silence, okay? I think, like, if they're going to buy a property or they're going to do things with their finance, I think a lot of them don't speak to other people in their family and friend circle because they're scared of people saying, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Why would you do that? From people that have never bought a property or don't own an investment property or aren't risk averse or have no idea. So, like, don't, you know, you would say to your friends and family, don't make decisions based on the advice of people that aren't in the know, people that aren't actually doing the things that you want to be doing. So you would be telling your friends and family, you would be standing on the highest mountain screaming, letting people know what you do, so that let them know, don't be afraid or embarrassed or scared to talk to me because I'm in the industry. And if I can't help you, I know some people that will be able to help you.
Spot on. Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. You go to a wedding or whatever the case, and a lot of people say, what's the market doing? You know, if you bring up real estate. well, your answer back is, well, what part of the market you're referring to? Sales, property management, have you got a commercial property, whatever it is, selling, buying. So now a family will tell you to go to the financial advisor. The financial advisor would potentially tell you to go to who? An accountant, because you're going to put your paperwork together, right? What the paperwork, the financials. And then the financial advisor, the accountant is then going to tell you to go to a mortgage broker or the bank or whatever the case is, right? So there's 3 people that are potentially, 4 including family friends, that should be raving fans for you. And then the bank is then going to say, yep, you've been approved for X amount. Then you go to a salesperson. So the BDM who's only relying on the salesperson to grow the rent roll is missing out on all these other areas. Yeah, so where do we meet these people? What other events can we go to, Michael, where they could meet the financial advisor, an accountant, a mortgage broker?
Well, I mean, there's everywhere. There's also those self-starting ones where you can actually give them a call and plan everything. But we were touching on before, like BNI, places like that are a perfect example of where you can meet these strategic alliances. Also, I think a rich pool are the people that you used to go to school with, finding out what they used to do or what they do now. A lot of them who already may know you, like you, they're in professions, so planning, accounting, lawyers, medical. They're swimming in those circles. So reach out and build those other network infrastructures there. One place, Deniz, that I loved going, and I still love going, the big sporting events. I also like going to so the horse races, so like Melbourne Cup, AFL Grand Final, AFL, just the general sporting matches, local sporting matches. So if you are a local agent in an area, attending and being visible at places like the local football, local soccer, local netball, these places where you are being seen, and you get to go and network with people. That also helps when you go to do other networking events and there are other people there that have seen you out and about. Hey, Deniz, I saw you at the local football match the other day. What a great game was that? You find those points in common. And when you start doing all these networking events and you go to your BNIs and your Toastmasters and places like that.
Chamber of Commerce is another one,
Building confidence. So again, this is a show about BDM and growth and everything. And what you need to back everything up is confidence there. So attending these networking events, making sure that you put yourself out there, ask questions, you're building confidence.
Yeah.
Another thing that you're also learning when you go to these events, Deniz, and we know this from so much travel and so many events that we attend, you're gaining different perspectives. And the information that you're learning at these networking events, you're now bringing back to your clients and you're sharing with your clients. So not only are you learning so much more, you're teaching all your clients, your family and friends and everyone else in your circles about all these new things that you've learned just from networking. You're becoming a superior market leader.
Well, you are then all of a sudden, I mean, how many times have you been into a presentation, Michael, and an owner may simply ask you, is this tax deductible? Or can I do this to the property? We're not experts in tax. However, you could quote something from your accountant or pass them on to an accountant's details. Oh, I met an accountant at, I met an accountant at a networking event. It's like, Brian from Cocktail, he said, never show surprise or lose your cool. So if someone's ever to ask you a question, right, at a presentation and you act surprised, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say, or you lose your cool because you're lost. It's about having that knowledge, learning that knowledge and gaining the wisdom of when to shoot it out to all of the people. It's so important. So learning, like you're saying, learning from these other speakers, like attending a conference, you're learning from them so that you can impart that into the people and you're looked upon as the expert. Another area of networking is conferences, real estate conferences. Seriously, you can learn from other BDMs. We've got the Facebook group with the IGT Inner Circle. Learn from other BDMs, learn what they're doing. What I used to do when I went to conferences, Michael? Some of the best BDMs are the sponsors.
I know, aren't they? Yeah.
They have got, you're at a conference, right? And everyone's in that mindset of going out there and learning. And you're encouraged by the conference people like Inspired Growth Training, our annual conference that we have. We encourage people to go and see the sponsors, right? So you know you have to see a sponsor. They know that they've got 15 seconds to catch your attention as you're walking by, you've got whatever. You know they're trying to sell something to you. So they have catching your attention. So they are in a great position to learn and learn from them.
They also, like when you meet the sponsors at the events and even like online and they know you, they are also out there in front of other people that they can introduce you to. They're in front of the investors, like when they're at those home shows and other events they're there plugging their service. When they're in front of the mum and dad, the investors out there, and they know the area that you're in and they know more about you and they like you and they trust you, what do you think they're going to say? Like they're going to talk about, hey, I know this great agent up in Brisbane and this great agent in Adelaide. You know, they talk and they promote. So become almost that, you don't need to become best friends with everyone. You know, it becomes tiring, but be that wealth of knowledge, be likable, and, you know, people will gravitate towards you.
Michael, you know, it's important, and I know we've said it earlier, it's so important to share your experiences that you've had, your wins as part of these networkings. Don't just go there and learn from them, but share your experiences, ask them questions, meet with them. If you're going to go to a B&I group, meet with them outside of those meetings. They've got other staff that you want to network with as well. Go to their businesses and meet the rest of the people in their office and become top of mind with those people as well. You know, I know we've spoken about like Facebook groups. What about the local area groups? I mean, where I lived in the Shoalhaven, there was a Shoalhaven Business Networking Group. It was a Facebook group where people feedback forum. People would go in and say, hey, I went to this restaurant, it's really good, thinking about going here, you know. Little things like that is, it's really handy as well. This, you know, it's all about being top of mind. It's all about networking, becoming raving fans, learning, sharing those statistics that you learn from other people, you sharing your experiences.
Now, I guess, you know, we've kind of gone over, Dennis, a lot of the benefits of networking and some of the people that you would go networking with. What about the people out there that are shy? There are the people out there that do get stage fright. They are introverted. And I got to say, as you know, I am very much an introvert. And I act extroverted so that so I made a big thing about making sure that I put myself out there into as many positions as possible. But when I'm home, I like to be home. I'm a homebody when I'm home. I'm just lucky that we travel a lot, and I force myself into be in positions where I will put myself out there and I will network. I will shake hands. I will meet people. But one of the most important things you must do when networking is to know your stuff, right? Yeah. Have your elevator pitch. If people ask you a question, so Dennis, what do you do? Or like Dennis said, how's the market? I cringe when I see people cringe getting that question. This is your job. It doesn't matter if 100,000 people ask you in one night, how's the market? This is your job. You're a BDM. You're in sales. That is a potential opportunity for a lead. Take it, run with it, but know your numbers, know the market, give them confidence. If they have no confidence in the marketplace, tell them what's fantastic about it. Why should people be investing? And they may not have a property, but if they do know someone that has a property, let them know that you know your stuff. If they know anyone who has a property in the marketplace looking to buy or is with another agent or whatever, let them know. Know your elevator pitch. So many people do not know it. I would guarantee, Dennis, if we were to go out to another event, not one of ours, all of our members are fantastic, and they all know their elevator pitch. And if they don't, then they're going to know it by the end of this session. I would ask 10 people, you know, what does they do, and get their elevator pitch. And of those 10 people, I would probably say that 7 of them would say the same thing. And I'd probably say that 2 of them really won't know what they're really doing. There's no clarity there. And 1 person is going to give you a good surprise.
You know, it'll be an interesting thing to do. You know, I'll to add to that, Michael. You know, some people fear going out and networking, or they don't know what to say if they're at a new networking event. And just to help people that have never networked before, a great question to go up to someone and say, and I'll bring this back to your point you've just made, Michael, is, you know, hi, Michael. Oh, your name, you know, most of the time they're wearing a badge, or you can say, hi, my name's Deniz. You know, I'm only new to it here, but can you share with me, you know, what do you get out of these networking groups, and what are you hoping to get out of it today? Is actually asking them questions, right, and getting them to talk. So then it prompts you, because they'll then naturally say, oh, so what do you do? So then you can jump in and give your elevator speech, right? So it's getting them to talk first is a key. Now, Michael, it'd be a great experiment for us at one of our events, is to walk around and challenge, get the camera out and say, hey, I'd love to hear what your elevator speech is, or, you know, tell us a bit about you and what you do. And then show that on screen to every single attendee. You know, it'll be a great learning experience.
You know what would be a good challenge then now? If everyone who is tuning in can do a 15 to 30 second elevator pitch about what they do, and if they can email that to darren@igtmail.com, so darren@igtmail.com, if you can send him that pitch, he'll make sure that we get that. Your elevator pitch. As I guess Arnie in Predator, he was big on this. Do it now. Get on there, pause this, go and do it, and send it to Darren. I guess, Deniz, the first session was, like we said, about the pre-listing. This session was about networking. We've covered the benefits of doing it. We've covered the people that you would go and communicate with. One of the final pieces when you are out there physically networking with people, don't get drunk. Don't be the fool who gets drunk. No. Make sure you hold yourself. I mean, I'm not saying don't have a drink. I mean, Dutch courage goes a long way if that's what you want to do. But don't write yourself off at these events. You are a professional. You are an expert. And make sure you're cool, calm, and collected, and that you stay the course and hold that professional dignity about you. Deniz, we see so many people, real estate agents at events, where they write themselves off because they've been uncomfortable. They haven't known what to say. Don't be that person. This is growth. We are looking for new business. We are looking for leads. Let's focus on that.
Michael, I used to get referrals from agents that I met at conferences. You know, I mean, a great spot. I mean, we often talk about, you know, taking advantage of every single opportunity that you can to network with people. Don't just go to a conference and learn from the speakers. You know, meet with them before, get there early, meet them at the bar afterwards. I mean, we're presenters, we're keynotes. We need to relax and chill out. We'll go to a bar and just communicate, and we're happy to network with people that are there. That time there at the bar, networking with them on a casual basis can be the most important learning that anyone can do.
And we introduce people to other people also. So, like, I guess it's another thing. If you don't know someone in the room, go up and introduce yourself. If you're a bit scared to do that, and you know someone that knows the person, ask them for an introduction. I doubt they're going to say no. You know, put yourself in that position and utilize it. These connections may make you a lot of money in the long run, and they will help your clients, help your business, and you will grow.
Yeah.
We want to see you grow.
We do. I mean, every BDM, if we're going to round this out, needs to be networking. B&I groups, Chamber of Commerce, Body Corp groups, strata meetings, you know, whatever the case, Zoom meetings, getting to their individuals. Don't forget about your barista, the coffee connoisseurs, you know, that are out there. They're meeting.
How many BDMs do we know that have like gotten the property of their local barista?
Oh, you know, I know so many BDMs that are even doing videos with their baristas now, and I think it's great. They are meeting so many people. They are the coalface of so many businesses. You know, so get out there, become a raving fan, network. Don't rely on the salesperson to grow the business, and learn that knowledge, because, you know, again, never show surprise. Never
Yeah.
lose your cool. When someone is bringing something up new to you, you want to be that market expert and leader in your local area.
Correct.
Yeah,
Well,
another great session, Michael.
another great session. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We've had a great time with this one. Make sure you tune into the first session and all of our other sessions that we have coming up. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. Go to bdmcoach.com for any more information or potential training. Take care.
Bye.